Okay, no, not yet. No, no. Okay. This should have fixed it. Hello, Shelly May. Is my sound better now? Do I sound okay now? I had to restart the stream. Oh no. Hi, Nightmare Reaper. Hello, Quantum. Hello, First Second. Yeah, you sound right. Okay. No more scuffed, no more scuffed. Let me just delete the old link. Yeah, now you can drag your friend in now and sound better. Listen, I will now play the music. Yes, but if you need to work on your balancing, you're kind of echoed. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, let me just, you know what, we play the music again. We will act like this never happened.
I've always followed my own direction. No one can pull me out. I've always felt different from the others. I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Burning inside, but I am alive. I'm not the one that you used to know. I've always hated to act like the others. I found my way to. Tears are fading, won't stop bleeding. Fears are fading. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Fucking freak like me. A fucking freak like me.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the newest. Oh, fuck, that's music. No, stop. I'm so good at this. Welcome to the stream, everyone. First time. Stop messaging me to ask me if the streamer mode is now on. Hello, Shelly May. Hello, Nightmare Reaper. Hello, Quantum. Hello, Drummer. Hello, my wife. Hello, Saint. Hello, Mercury. Who did I miss? Hello, Miva Doodles. Hello, Caress. Shut up. I know that streamer mode is not on. Shush. Hello. Ombre also here. Mr. Gamer. I think I have everyone now. Otherwise, complain. Hello, cool anime girls. Okay, as I have not said before, I'm really excited about this one. I was so excited when this came out, this video. It is indeed the end of an era. You know, Doodletones couldn't be taken down by Jim, couldn't be taken down by the normal commentary community, couldn't be taken down by anyone until Julie came in. Hi Chris, welcome. Big entry. Then Julie came in, and now we have the video. The end of Suzy Doodletones. It is 5 hours long. There's one part I will skip because I want to really concentrate on Doodletones. But I tell you, it's quite a ride. There are some really interesting moments in there. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I give her too much shit, that's the problem. Chris, I didn't say hello to you for like 2 minutes. You will survive. Still keep getting Doodle mixed up with food shops, but I'm still fresh, so I get there. Jelly, no! that's two very different people. We have the video from Lio Convoy.
For introduction for this one, eyes up on screen. Keep it there for a bit. There we go.
Content warnings, grooming, predations, and trigger warnings. Toho.
Let me at least give some general background here before we get into this. This is a compilation of calls involving Suzy Doodle.
To be fair, if you didn't say hey to me, I would also be sad. I would never say not hello to you, Quantum.
Tones. On May 18th, she was confronted by Chuli in SCC Courthouse, a server made to deal with issues in the SCC. Suzy was taken to task for defending a groomer named George Raccoon in 2021, and allowing him to reintegrate and
Oh yeah, we will also watch the video on the next stream with George Raccoon. The video that is now not there anymore, you know, because Suzy deleted a bunch of shit. We will look at that and see how exactly Suzy was like. But to give you the long story short, it was like, you know what? The miner didn't set any boundaries, so... Well, it was a civilized time for once. I always thought it civilized times, okay?
brand in her community under the name of Horace Tomes. There's an entire story to how this was found out, because clearly it was missed in 2021 somehow. Chuli will tell you about that eventually. And while we will get to that call, there's one I think that needs to be played first.
Also tell me if the video is alright. It's loud enough.
Suzy left her platform in 2024 at the request of the FCK.
Dude, should I be a loser playing Minecraft, or should I finish my Guerra Dogger Doodle screaming? You should finish the Guerra Dogger.
Victims. They requested that she take time away and get therapy. While this wasn't a permanent request, she, for the most part, did so. She only came back to the courthouse in late September of last year and stayed there to help certain situations. After she came back, Chuli was granted a call on the server to reconnect with the community that harmed her, the intention being to answer questions and quell any issues. Chuli chose to stay, and one day in a random hangout call, brought up the issue she took with Suzy's 9-hour Nekokoda video.
Wait, Suzy had a 9-hour video on Nekokoda? What? Like, I think the only 9-hour video I have seen so far was Akumu's, but that was on multiple people over multiple years. How do you make a 9-hour video on one person? Hi, Divine Jester. Joins right after making art. Oh, damn. Hope it gets better soon.
Playing this one first because it's an important piece to demonstrate how Suzy responds when her statements are questioned in a more direct manner. I want you to pay attention to how she reacts to things. Here you go.
Means because nobody wants to look at the nuance in things.
How does she still have her fucking voice changer on in a serious call? Like, this is supposed to be a serious call, and she still has her fucking voice changer on. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, yes.
Can I ask you about a video that you have? Because I've actually been thinking of on it more recently, and it's kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth.
Chris, shut the fuck up. Chris, I will crash out, I swear. I will crash out here. I don't know what I did to deserve this. That it is acting like this, like that the sound is acting like this, is to be like that now, okay? You gotta live with that. Push. This is what I get for trying to make the audio better. I make it worse. Never complain about my audio again.
Pardon?
I said I've been thinking on a video that you have recently, and it's been leaving a bad taste in my mouth because I wanted to ask about the Nekokoda video.
You should know I'm very sensitive.
Sure.
And I just am curious, how much of that video, because it's like 9.5 hours, how much of that is from when they were underage?
Keep your Discord notification. I want to keep playing my Discord. Listen, usually my streamer mode goes on automatically. For some reason today it decided it doesn't want to. So I make it your all's problem now because I don't know how to put it on streamer mode manually. Listen.
Probably quite a bit. I'd go over the entire history of Coda.
Okay, I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think we need to document a child's life online for multiple hours.
I mean, I think when it comes to someone who has shown years and years of abusive behavior, I think it is a little important.
Use the stuff from when they
Because
were
it's-
adults.
It's also a very funny point from Doodles because she always complains when people bring up, you know, her past as a teenager. Oh, I found the streamer mode. It's enabled now. You will hear no more Discord notifications from me. I'm a fucking genius. I fixed. Yeah, so actually you would think that Doodles would agree to this point. But no, she's like, no, it's very important to keep that up.
It's a
When they were
pattern.
yes, when they were a child,
did.
I don't want to document
There's-
their life as a child.
The thing is, Julie,
The thing is, Julie, you do not understand. Mosquito time, it is indeed mosquito time.
the thing is, Julie, it is a pattern of behavior from the time that they were a child to the time that they were an adult. The point is, the point kind of shows that this is something that Coda has always done. It's kind of something that it requires a lot of context, however, to explain that. So I do wind up having to make it an 9-hour video. It was a lot of context there.
I completely disagree. I think
Just like how there's a lot of context for your story, Doodles. How nice. So we are allowed to talk about this time. You don't like to talk about, so... I smell a roots for thee, but not for me.
if someone is abusive as an adult, that's good enough. We don't need to drag their childhood into it when they were being abused and groomed and sexually assaulted.
And I kind of have to back up what Julie said, especially since I do have to point this out. That's what a lot of people against you, Doodle, were saying.
Called out. Yes, call it out.
About you.
What,
And
what do you mean?
also,
What do you
okay.
mean? Why does she act like she doesn't know? You know exactly what they mean, Doodles.
You spell out
Like,
this.
No. Who?
They
What
were
do you mean?
also using like things that were done to you in your childhood to make you into a bad person, into
Yes,
a
but it wasn't stuff
manipulative
that I still
person.
did. No,
Stop
the
using
thing is,
things.
what people use against me specifically are the fucking stupid goddamn erotic role plays that I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, and you don't like it when people do that, don't ya? So...
Right? I don't do those anymore. I haven't done those in a decade almost at this point.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
So that's not stuff that I still do. There's not a pattern of behavior there. With Coda, it was consistently a pattern of behavior where she consistently showed very abusive patterns to other people.
Oh yeah, well they were abused, groomed, everything and raped, and you were like, yeah, you know what, but they were mean to me.
Then use the ones from when they were an adult. It's unfair to get on a child for their behavior when they're underage, especially when they were being abused and groomed and sexually assaulted themselves. And I do just want to say that I did think it was really disgusting how at the end of the video,
Hello, Ghostbuster fan. Yeah, we won't go over the whole video because that's just too much, but I want to go over the most important points with Doodles. But you know what, the stream will probably be around around 4 hours at least. We will see.
at the end of that 9.5-hour video, you were like, oh, you did worse than what we did. The worst we did was compare you to your rapist. Like, that is, like, do you hear yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do.
I don't think that video needs to be. I don't think that video needs to exist anymore. Because she's not around anymore.
I disagree.
And that video is documenting times from her childhood.
And also, the person is not even around anymore, so there's literally no reason to bring up the childhood on this.
And it's downplaying disgusting things that you guys said about the time when she was raped.
Oh. I assume she means real life rape now.
I could also add, as somebody that just came back, that Coda now is basically just working on, from what we've seen with from a DM to Lyle.
That was not my Discord, I wish to say.
She's just working on, like, trying to be a therapist and stuff. Like, she's just getting education.
And that's fine, but I don't want her to to have gotten away with the years of.
No, she's not even around anymore. What do you mean? I don't want her to get away with it. What would your video do to change that? Let's be real here.
Abuse that she put other people through. Like, yeah, okay, she was a victim, she was a child. I get that. And yeah, when it comes to the
Yeah, she was a victim, she was a child, but she was still mean to me. You don't understand.
comparison, yeah, it wasn't a particularly tasteful comparison.
No,
But
stop
also,
downplaying.
Oh yeah, she fucking compared the person themselves to their fucking rapist.
Yeah.
are we just not? I'm not fucking downplaying it.
I'm not fucking downplaying it. Ah, delicious. Wait, I need to hear this again. Wait.
Dude, listen.
Downplaying it.
Are we just not? I'm not fucking downplaying it. Dude, listen. If you let me fucking finish.
I love it. I love it. Dude, this is like when Crystal Flame said it's never going to destroy Peaches so much. He reaches in their real life. Doodles has an ex to grind, it is spiteful. Yeah, that's nothing new with Doodles. And people didn't believe me when I said that. People didn't believe me. And now I laugh in their faces.
If you let me explain myself, I was going to say, are we even going to question, like, why the comparison was made?
Again, why even have your fucking voice changer on in this call? Brr. Turn that shit off. It just makes it funnier when you cry.
Yes!
I gave her an apology directly to her on 2 different occasions. So
Then why is it still up when you already apologized? What?
I'm not sitting here downplaying it.
2 times. 2 times Doodles apologized for the comparison, but still left the video up? Is my brain broken? Like, why is the video then still up if you already apologized 2 times for it?
But I'm sitting here saying, are we not going to question why? Because the comparison
Why? Why?
isn't just to her abuser. The comparison is strictly based around how she was arguing against people being the same way that fucking V did.
Well, you know, I apologized for comparing her with her abuser, but if you think about it, she kinda be like her abuser, you know? Why did you apologize then when you don't agree with it? Bruh, you even still have this opinion. Why apologize?
Suzy, do you wonder that maybe why she was acting like that is because she was subjected to that behavior?
And was groomed.
People can act like they're abusers. It is not fair to compare them to them, especially when that person sexually assaulted them while they
And
were
especially if you still argue that after you apologized apparently for 2 times. Like, what?
underage, and then turn around and say, well, it wasn't the most tasteful thing. Suzy, if you did that to me, I would never forgive you.
Yeah, understandable.
I would let both of us die before I thought of ever...
Ghostbuster! Ghostbuster fan. No spoilers. Imagine caring this much about any drama that you scream at your friends in a call designed to smoke you, yeah, instead of just being like, you know what, yeah, you're right, I'm gonna take it down. Or just, you know, even if she just said, yeah, I see your point, but also I disagree, so fuck all.
For moving on from that statement.
I really don't like the implications you guys are putting upon me.
I don't like the implication you're putting upon me. Hey, Quantum, thank you for the 20. Like the stream for more helium Doodletones. Yes, more helium, more Doodletones. Also, I forgot. Let me give you your... Oh, that's the wrong button. Oops. Is this one? No. Fuck, I haven't streamed in so long, I don't even know how to do shit anymore. I will have it in a minute. No. Aha! There's your little guy. God. I don't stream for a week and forgot how shit works though. Yeah, hidden deactivated her Twitter, yeah, I saw that. Caring.
I really don't like the fact that you guys are even...
I just need to get into it again, okay? I was lazy with streams this week, you know. Need some time to get back into it.
like, even kind of implying that I did so out of malicious intent.
Well, you did so out of malicious intent. I completely believe that. Some people might disagree, but I completely believe that Doodles was malicious towards someone who she feels like wronged her.
We're not. We're not
Suzy.
saying that you did it out of malicious
I am.
intent. We are though saying that it is not
You
good.
guys literally are!
How am I saying that you have malicious intent? I'm not saying you did something because of X or Y reason.
You are framing it as if I was doing it in malicious intent.
Well, what else was your intent when you were like, yeah, you know what? You're exactly like your abuser. Tell me how you can do that non-maliciously. The voice changer is making this crazy. Yeah, I know, right? I say it. You have malicious intent, Doodles. Absolutely agree on that. Listen, I will say it. I truly believe Doodles was malicious. Because she's a spiteful fuck.
No, I'm fully aware that you are definitely ignorant on the kind of statement that you were making, but I am telling you that I do not like how you, even in this call, continue to downplay it as just distasteful, when in reality, it is abjectly disgusting.
Fine. I'll go fucking private the video or take it down.
Fine. I'm private a video.
What the fuck ever.
What the fuck ever? Oh, here comes the... Here comes the... What do you call it? Attitude. Here comes the attitude. I'm drunk and gardening. Let's go. Don't have an accident in the garden, Asterati.
Fine.
Just a reminder, Doodles is almost 30. And throwing a temper tantrum there. Just because someone says, you know what, I don't like how you framed this video. Just a little reminder.
Don't like what you guys are pushing upon me. You guys are pushing intent upon me, and I don't appreciate that.
Suzy, I'm not trying to push intent on you. I'm just saying what you did and how it makes me uncomfortable, and how I don't think that you're recognizing the severity of.
You can't believe that she sits there with her arm crossed pouting. Oh no, Doodles is in her late 20s. Yeah, 17. I think she's 28.
Some of the words that you said. That has nothing to do with why you said those words or what you thought you were doing.
Well, truly, the person being calm in this situation and telling her, hey, Doodles, you know what you did there? A little bit distasteful, you know? It's 19. Imagine if a 19-year-old, if someone 10 years younger, a little bit more than 10 years younger, has to explain to you why you fucked up. And then throwing a temper tantrum.
Doing when you said those words, it has to do with the actual impact of those actions happening. Because being completely honest, no.
Damn web user. Total stand still interrupted. Yeah. Hi Rain, welcome. Welcome.
Intent would make
I
comparing.
would end it, yeah, same. If someone 10 years younger had to come to me like, you know what, you did a big fuck up there. Let's talk about it. I would be like, you know what, I will take it down. Fine. I would fucking kill myself.
A victim to their rapist good. There is no intent that would make that justifiable. You could bring up that they learned a pattern of behavior from that abuser, but to try and condemn them for that is wholly irresponsible, no matter the intent.
What happened to your mic? God damn it, what is it with my mic? I don't know what happened. I did one thing with the audios and everything broke. I can try one thing, wait. I will do the good old turn it on and off. I turned it on and off. Probably didn't help, but you know what? It's always worth a try.
I will private it.
Some people tell me it's normal. I feel like I either getting gaslit or something really small changed.
I will get rid of it from the public viewing.
Thank you.
I just really don't like what you guys are implementing.
I don't like what you guys are doing there. I don't like it. Wait, let me try something else. Let me do something here. I don't worry. Let me just do something. Let me just. Chris, I don't trust you. That's the problem. I do not trust you, Chris. You always say I sound bad.
I'm
We're
not
not
trying
saying
to
you're being
imply
malicious.
anything on
You
you.
might not be trying to imply it, but you have been. This whole time you have been implying things.
No, I just
And I don't like that
I-
because I didn't do it intentionally.
Maybe you all need to check your own audio output. You lost me. Think that she could play an evil witch in a Saturday morning cartoon. That would be a dream.
To Parker.
I just clarified to you that that is not what I'm doing. I'm being very straightforward with you about what I am saying, what the meaning of what it is, what I care
I
about,
understand.
and what I'm
I understand, but I will cry about it.
focusing
Understand that.
on.
I understand that, and I hear that. I just, up to that point, you were kind of implying that I was doing it with the intent to hurt her. I was not. I wanted her to understand that that the conversation that we had during that time frame was very akin to how she was, how.
Once again, just a little reminder, you know, on some things, Doodles was the one who was also happy to be in accountability calls, you know? For someone who was one of the accountability girlies. Someone is whining a whole lot there for, you know, taking accountability.
V would argue towards people like that.
I
It
understand.
was tactless, it was tasteless, which is not me downplaying it, mind you. I'm trying to.
It is very much you downplaying it.
Maybe I don't have the actual, like, full words for it, but yes, I understand I shouldn't have done that.
Then why is it still up? It's not that hard to understand.
No, I know. It's just that I don't feel like tactless or tasteless describes something that is like objectively
have the words for it.
extremely hurtful. Just say it was disgusting, because that's a good enough word.
Boone, you've been trying to jump in a bit. You wanted to say something?
Doodle, I do want to apologize.
I just realized something. Is my voice no better? I think I used my webcam microphone. I just realized something. Fuck. Use my webcam. I'm fucking such a fucking retard. I used my webcam microphone. That's why you could hear me clicking even though my microphone was muted. Amazing, amazing. I won't listen to the haters, my wife. Anyway, back to serious talk.
Guys, for it potentially sounding like we were implying something, I don't really understand why you think that.
The first thing I checked, listen, I never had it automatically switch to the camera, okay? That's the first time for anything.
But that was in no way the intent behind. We were not intending to imply that you were acting maliciously in the slightest. I can't speak for Truly, but it doesn't sound like
I
it.
very much think that she acted maliciously. I very much think that she... Shush, Wayne, shush. It's fine, it's fine. It was a joke. I pranked y'all. It was a prank. I swear.
From Truly, and I can say for certain that that was not my intent. So, and I honestly don't really understand why you thought that that was.
And I asked this, did she ever say why she defended the groomer? Not really. Sadly, not really. But also this call makes it very clear that Doodles doesn't understand much about, you know, how to see what's happening there and how to act with victims.
What we were doing.
Because when you guys came at me about it initially, like from the beginning of this conversation.
Because there's one part I need to spoil, okay? I am allowed to do one spoiler. There's a part later when they say, hey, this was also after she was raped, blah, blah, blah. And Doodles was like, well, I thought it's been like a year since she was raped. So, yeah. Doodles be like, it's been a year, why you're still not over it?
The way you guys came at me.
Also her defending the groomer being like, hey, you know what, the miner didn't send boundaries. Once again, is another thing that works very much against Doodles. Because you could say the same to Doodles in her own grooming story. And she did her own I was groomed story. You know? But were we also supposed to say, and pretty much no one said it, might have not been taken as serious because it was while she was 18 and 19. I still say the dude was a degenerate. And fucking inappropriate with her. No, but, you know, in her own standards, one could say, hey, Doodles, did you set your boundaries there? Did you say that you were uncomfortable? Again, if we were working on Doodles' standards there.
Me about it was it sounded like you guys were saying that I, you know, again went
Does
out
she
of
think it's comparable to No, my theory is that Doodles is so much terminally online that she doesn't understand that rape in real life is different from someone like drawing a picture of you. Some kind of sexual picture or like being inappropriate to you in a VC. That's my theory on that.
my way to hurt someone. You guys were like, oh, I don't think it's okay for you to do this, when I even agreed to that. I had apologized to her about it because I didn't want to hurt her about it. Or because I realized that what I had done was a problem, and I came out as a...
If you knew it was a problem once again, why is it still up? Kimmy Beck sweater season, same. I hate when it's too warm. I want my autumn and then winter.
apology at least twice about
Yeah, that's how
it.
seasons work, you genius.
I might have apologized the third time in the video itself. I don't remember. But the point is I had already given that apology. I had already tried to make things right with Coda.
I already gave an apology. I already tried to make things right with her. Why can't I leave the video up? Come on now, guys. Why should I change anything? And they didn't even ask him to delete the whole video. Just to cut out the things where Coda was still a child.
About it, and for you guys to sit here and be like, I don't think that was right for you to do that. Yeah, I understand. I agree with that.
I understand that you apologized, but you also downplayed it at the end of the video.
Womp fucking womp.
Downplay it though.
Okay, but you
I
did.
want her downplay it though. How often does she have to have it explained to her until she understands? It's really not that hard to understand.
You're trying to downplay it.
But you did.
Okay, fine. But
Okay, fine. Hi, Tusky, no worries. We're just 13 minutes in. There's much more to go.
I'm not trying to.
Doodle,
I'm
part
not
of this is, and part of this is about Julie's, and the thing is, the conversation initiated.
Yeah, the fact that Doodles even fought so hard to keep that part up is ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? It's not even that big of a deal that what they asked of her. It's just, Doodles, can you please take this part of the video out because it's very inappropriate. Like, it wouldn't, even if you disagree, it wouldn't even be worth it, in my opinion, to argue this hard over it.
With Julie's issue with you bringing up the underage stuff. I understand that your intent with that was to
When it comes to the underage stuff, to be honest with that, I still don't 100% see eye to eye with that, because I do still think it's important to document that behavior as persistent.
You know what, Doodles, you're so very right. It's also very important to document your behavior as a teenager, you know? You're so right. We should document everything. You are not allowed to ever complain again.
When before she was being abused, I think that is important. But like...
Yeah, great. That's also what makes me think that it was indeed malicious, despite everything she says. Because Doodles, even with the cute little voice changer, makes you think otherwise. It's a malicious little shit. And no one can convince me otherwise. And also very stupid on top.
I both see where you're coming from and see where Julie's coming from. And for me also... things.
Who's coming in and going out again?
Julie, like, I think it's. How do I explain this? I would need to rewatch the video because it's been a while.
Well, I just privated it, so...
Well,
Hey, I just privated it so you can't look at it again. Why does she sound so smug? She does not get to sound so smug.
Oh?
Yeah.
And I think that's for the best. I do thank you for that.
I think it's probably for the best too, but I think it depends on like how that documentation came about. Like,
Hi, Truski. Welcome to the mosquito.
for instance, it seems like Julie, the way you brought it up was that it was and in fact, Doodle, the way you describe it was the pattern of behavior going into their childhood, right?
Like, from the time that they had started, Fluffle...
Oh, hey, Yen. My script is currently 12 pages. I have words to say about Doodle. Oh, tell me to them. Tell me them. Almost crashed out over this commission I'm doing now. I'm making crayon drawings with my left hand. Oh no. I assume you are not left-handed.
YGO. all the way to the time that they were Neko Koda, this pattern of behavior that she showed, this abusive pattern of behavior she showed, from even before she was in the clutches of V, had still persisted.
Well, you know, the pattern of behavior you showed pretty much showed that you were into the whole diaper stuff even before you were groomed. Are we allowed to bring that up now? And talk about it in depth? Doodles. Doodles. Once again, breaking the standard you set yourself.
All throughout that. This was a pattern that she never grew out of.
And the fact that she
The
never...
funny thing is, I don't even care that much about the fucking diaper fetish. The only thing why I find it funny is because she is so sensitive about it and always denied it.
grew out
With
of
or
that.
without V's help.
Okay, but the fact that V was a significant part of her childhood
She was a victim.
should tell you that the reason why she came out as an adult the way that
And not
she
for
did,
Doodles to be like, you know what, she might have turned out just as bad if she wasn't groomed. You don't know that. Doodles, you don't know that. Who are you to be now the expert on this stuff?
it is not entirely her fault. And that going into that pattern of behavior,
Yeah, we are bullies for real. We wouldn't care about the diaper stuff outside of finding it weird. But she gets so ass mad about it that it's funny. Exactly. Like, Doodles was literally like, here's the thing I'm really sensitive about. Please don't bring it up. It's absolutely not my fetish. And look, I was groomed into it. A long time, years after I started this whole shit. Can just admit that you were fucking degenerate. No one would, you know, some people would have still made fun of it, but then if you just hit them with the, yeah, and argument exploded.
behavior is something that
Hello,
a therapist
Sapphire,
needs to
welcome.
do, not a YouTuber.
And you
Yeah, not a YouTuber is the one who should bring her to the ground.
can't really say with or without V's help, because V was
No one is surprised, Mr. Gamer. No one is surprised. Okay, some people are actually surprised, but those people, I will say, I told them all. I wish to tell them all. We told ya!
involved in it. For all we know, like, the fact that she was that way and then ended up still being that way could be because of a regression created.
Listen, I know I said it last stream, but I have to say it again. Do you know how smug I was when this came out? Because I had so many people, when I said, yeah, Doodles is a fucking degenerate and untrustworthy, tell me, no, Doodles is really nice, and she was groomed into it, you can't make fun of it, brr, 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 brr. And now, who has the last laugh? Listen, I like it when I'm right.
By interactions with V, for
It's-
all we know.
Like I say, her childhood is something for a therapist to go over, not a YouTuber, not for the public to see.
How much of the video
Was
goes
all-
over stuff that was in in her childhood?
Again, probably a good majority of it because
Oh yeah, I saw this tweet, Jan, I saw this tweet. Let me just bring this up really fast. No, that is really good. That one was really funny. Oh yeah, I would never say, from Suzy, oh yeah, I would never say anyone cannot be friends with those I don't like or those I see as problematic. I mean, fuck, I still talk to George Raccoon on occasion. I'd be hypocritical if I said you couldn't be chill with V. Again, V was a predator. So why is that a comparison to George Raccoon, who according to Suzy, wasn't a predator? This is again one of the things that kinda tells me she knew. Suzy knew. Fucking mosquito.
a good majority of the things that she did was in her childhood.
Then that's probably where it becomes.
And if it's so important for her to bring the childhood up, you can just make a little note about it. You know, just a comment like, this is a behavior that is repeating from her childhood. this and this and this happened during her childhood. You don't need to have hours long explaining in detail the trauma this person went through.
A little bit problematic.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just let her get away with the years of abuse she did to other people?
What was your video to help her not get away with those people? And again, the person already left the internet, pretty much.
You can
How
talk
much
about
of
the
that
things
abuse-
that she did when she was an adult.
And how much of that
Suzy,
abuse was
the-
caused
Okay, so
by
just
the
let
likes of
her-
B?
So just let
I think 100% think Cloak and Dagger was a sacrificial lamb to stop Leo looking at the Cloud Palace. Oh yeah, I agree completely on that. I just rewatched the whole Cloak and Dagger saga. Yeah, definitely. But it's also really funny to see these people grandstanding in the whole situation. Really funny. I loved the part where Nessie Monster was like, "Do you know what a glass house is? It aged like milk. It truly aged like milk."
let her get away with the abusive things she did to other people then.
Well,
the
Suzy, several other people have made videos about it that didn't go over the childhood part. We know this.
And furthermore,
Suzy be like, "That's why my video important. It's the only one with the childhood in." Bum bum bum.
Suzy, the problem is with some of the stuff that Coda did, and I do acknowledge that they did a lot of messed up stuff. How much of that was caused by the likes of V being a big part of her life as a minor? That could have played a part
Not
in it.
as much. Not really as much as people think it is. To
Okay,
be
but,
honest.
but you don't get to say that for her.
Oh no, Suzy is the expert now. Suzy knows. Yeah, imagine how confused the people in Cloak and Dagger were when the behavior was approved of by Suzy and others like Jace in Cloud Palace, only for them to be dragged by Lio. Yeah, after years of people telling you, "Oh, yeah, you can participate in this, let's all do it together," and suddenly, bam, consequences. I'm actually going over the J-Scroll tour over the next week. I have so much to catch up on. So much happened while I was being lazy, so it will be big catch-up week next week. How will Doodle know? Doodle is apparently the expert now. Self-assigned.
Like, if I could use an out, like,
Abusive behaviors from even before she met V.
Yes, and how's to say that he didn't worsen them or encourage her to keep them, or else add anything onto that?
I'm kinda curious how it would have went if someone told Lio. That's actually a good question. This is extortion! I think Lio wouldn't. Listen. Lio had his problems, but I have enough trust there that I believe that Lio would not have played along with that. He would have called their asses out.
Because of how much she was subjected to him.
Why do you think Lio wasn't invited into the Cloud Palace?
I think at the very least it would have been appropriate to condense what was involved in childhood to make it less of the focus than the things that...
Yeah, Lio wouldn't have tolerated it. Yeah, same opinion there. Like, as much as they love to use Lio as a weapon and be like, "I will tell Lio if you don't do it," they also feared him. In my opinion. That's why he wasn't invited into the Cloud Palace, because he would have seen the whole degeneracy.
she did as an adult.
It's very invasive and very violating to have your childhood picked apart and documented. And
I know, Yen, that's why I'm very sad that it didn't happen. I would have loved to see it.
criticized when, in all honesty, you didn't really know what was going on at that time of your life.
And again, Doodle, I do have to point this out. This is what people against you do with you. They pick apart and criticize things that you've been open about from your childhood.
And if I could bring up an example myself of how, like, a previous abuser been
I'm sorry, but this person sounds like a wizard who's about to give you a quest. I'm very sorry. I continue.
like when we documented her long lists of abuse and all that, well, she herself.
Also, fuck, Quantum, why didn't you say anything? I forgot to give you the head pets. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I'm very proud of all of you for coming here. Very proud of you. I'm a mess today. Apologizes. Listen, yeah. I'm just saying. I have nothing against it, but you're stupid.
I've also had.
Yeah, I'm outsourcing the head pets now. Love you, Quantum.
Like many incidents from her childhood there as well, but for the most part, we didn't focus on that when we were bringing her abuse to the public.
There's something I also want to add, and it's the fact that even if some of the stuff that they did was before meeting V, I could point out a lot of the stuff that was done was when she was a teenager. A lot of us have done incredibly stupid stuff as a teenager.
Oh, you know what, everyone, bring out the most embarrassing thing you have ever done as a teenager. It's now out in public for everyone. According to Doodles. It's fine, everything needs to be documented.
Especially online.
That too.
What's to say
definitely.
that, like, even because Chuli was just responding, I could bring up this example. The stupid tweet I made in regards to Chuli and...
Listen, if I would give head pets every time someone comes in here, I would give head pets all day. In the beginning. It wouldn't start stream because I have to give so many head pets. So.
What they went through with Thaghost. I was an adult when I did that, but that's no excuse for what I did. And I apologized for that because it was terrible. But when I was younger, I did a lot of stupid shit on here as a minor.
Can I add into this conversation? Do you remember when I got screamed at by V? I was stupid. I did do stupid stuff, but do you see me screaming at her for 7 minutes? No.
I'm gonna be so for real. The thing that V
I'm gonna be so for real.
yelled at you about was you making an alt account. That's not fair on you.
But it's fair to talk about 9 hours with a big part on the childhood of the person who was a victim too. Okay.
The point, though, is that a lot of us did incredibly bad or heinous shit when we were younger. But what's to say that she didn't grow out of that if V was not a factor? It's very much likely that Coda would have. We're kind of seeing that now with...
Yeah, because a situation like that would make anyone probably worse, so...
The likes of that DM to Lio, that she's getting help, that she's going to be a therapist, that she's unlearned a lot of this stuff.
Doodle is like, I don't want to have a career. She was mean to me.
And that's fantastic.
Also, like, I do want to say one, like, along with that,
I expected nothing less from you, Majunga.
When her stuff was a teenager, because honestly, as like not adding on to how we all did stupid stuff as teens, like we all get influenced in the by the community and our surroundings.
Listen, there's a reason why I never talk about the stupid shit I did as a teen.
Or
I was cringe. The end. You know what? Story of my life.
And like back at the time, and even still nowadays, and like that community that the Coda was hanging around, it was well known for being, fairly confrontational, hostile, and toxicity, which was more or less.
Don't be mean, Mr. Gamer. Don't be mean.
Treated as. I'm going to 100%
You have a nice day.
But we're clearing that out now.
We're clearing that out now. No, apparently you don't, because you're still arguing.
Oh, but when she was in her childhood, when she was entering the community.
Well, okay. Let me. This is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to be. Oh, she needs to rub 2 brain cells together.
have to follow along with me here on this, right?
Okay.
So let's bring this back to, right?
Liv.
Sorry,
Liv.
You're right. My bad. I'm still trying to keep that habit, but yeah. So
What habit? Wait, what was it? What habit? There was a habit. What?
let's bring this back to Liv then. Are we going to sit here and just not acknowledge like what Liv did to Buggy or to Hypo?
Can someone please have normal names? I'm really trying to be nice here, okay?
Like should we just never like acknowledge those when that is again another pattern of behavior that followed her into her adulthood?
We don't need to document that like publicly online.
No.
If we do acknowledge it as part of the context,
Again, it can be acknowledged that there was a certain behavior even as a teenager. But again, it doesn't need to be documented in detail and tell the whole life story of that person. To be like, oh, and then this terrible thing happened to them, and then they were mean to me, and then this terrible thing to happen to them, and then they were mean to this person.
Just say...
Like, just, again, keep the childhood part short, and then you can talk about more about what happened after they became an adult.
I were to make a 9-hour-long video about Liv.
I still think it's fucking psychotic to make a 9-hour video on one person.
I would not make the majority of that video be the things that I would give the context of there being a pattern of behavior, but I would not feel the need to.
But that's enough. First thing we all need to do.
Oh, we have Drama came in bearing gifts.
I'm not fucking downplaying it.
I love this clip.
I'm fucking downplaying it.
I'm fucking downplaying it.
I'm fucking downplaying it. I'm not fucking downplaying it.
Oh, Leo was speaking up. Let's see if Doodles will behave better.
Because we did get heated, and I'm not blaming anyone, but it's very obvious right now in conversation that Suzy feels caged. Take a minute to breathe. Okay?
I will bet $2 that that Doodles DM'd Lio. They feel caged, they're caging me.
I do not think it is wrong to bring this topic up, or to discuss it, or to give opinions and feelings on it. So we have to keep in mind.
Hello, what is the sign? Can I just call you MJ? Moosh? MJ? I'm so sorry.
That every single one of us are human, and we need to pay attention to how we're responding.
May, okay. Yes, Ambre. What is it? You guess. I will not guess. I know. I seen I bought you gacha luck. She sounds like a pissed off chipmunk when she yells in the voice changer on.
I understand. I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm not angry.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
My 3K scholarship turned out to actually be a 7K scholarship instead. Hell yeah! Congratulations!
But I haven't been able to talk because I was in a location where I literally couldn't, so now I can't.
Lio. Was Lio in a McDonald's again? Or at work? Don't be this cold in the public.
So, firstly, I'm going to back the conversation up just a little bit. And I want to reaffirm a couple things here. I know that Suzy's defense mechanism is to do what a lot of us do, whether we want to admit it or not.
Which is?
And talk about what we meant when the point is what we did. I do not think anyone, based on the conversation here, Suzy, was ascribing malice to you.
I am. I know I'm not in the room, but I am. I am saying she's a malicious little shit. We're going on a hell roller coaster? Yes, we are, Reaper. We truly are.
All right. You know, I'm on your side on most things here, okay? In terms of like the general consensus of what we discuss, but that's not what they were doing. I know why you feel that way, though. Now, that being said, I have to ask, what was it Neko did when they were younger that they did not also do when they were an adult?
I'm sure Doodles will also give Lyo the same amount of attitude that she gave Julie.
I mean, I guess nothing.
Excuse me? Where did that attitude go? Hello? Doodles, you were fighting about it for like half an hour. And now you're just like, I guess nothing. It's fine.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you have, and again, this is all retrospect, and it's something I should have looked into a little further, so I dropped the ball on that too. If that is the case, then it could have focused primarily on what they did when they were an adult, with maybe a footnote about that.
Again, then in this case, if nothing big changed, she could have just said, this is a repeated behavior from when she was even younger.
Behavior that existed when they were a child. Put in the note about how it may have been exacerbated by terrible people. Say what those terrible people did. Make that very
Literally what the others all said.
clear. But then also go on and talk about, well, here's what I'm doing going forward when it comes to people who have done wrong but aren't monsters. Is I'm going to talk about how to avoid these situations going forward, as opposed to just decrying them. I'm not stupid. I know Nekokota's done a lot of damage in this community. Heck, he did damage in my household. She did damage in my household. All right, I get it.
$1 from Lyo into the jar.
I'm not going to sit here and downplay anything Kota did. But
McDonald's. Hi Odin, welcome to Mosquito.
Let's be honest here. In scripture, it says that judgment begins at the house of God, and as such, correction
Amen.
has to begin in our own house too. The way the FCC in general has treated kids as a whole has been pretty bad. I'm not saying that this community created Nekokota, but I do know
Odin came right in on the scripture. What does it say about you, Odin?
that it did very little to actually try to correct the behavior. Because it should not have taken me coming in to shake Neko straight. So I'm not going to downplay what she has done and the people she has hurt. Obviously not. That would be horrible on my end. But we also have to learn to keep a measured response on certain things. And I know part of this is because Nekokota hurt you.
Oh, so Doodles was hurt by Nekokota herself. So I'm sure Doodles was totally not out for a personal vendetta, right? That would be crazy. If Suzy would have downplayed it all, you know, because of a personal vendetta. Not our victim's advocate.
And as such, you're going to feel like any conversation about maybe altering or editing a view on that or the video itself can come off like a personal attack. That is not what anybody here is trying to do. Nobody
I am.
here hates you, dislikes you, or just is disgusted
I do.
by you. They just take some issues with things, and we're just talking
I
about
do,
it.
and I am.
Okay?
All right.
In general, there is a concept that's been thrown around a lot about, perfect victims. There is no such thing at all. And this is somebody who has victimized other people, but is also a victim. And in talking about this video, it also talks about people that
No, wait, it doesn't fit the usual agenda. Something I notice a lot of time in the SCC and ACC, like we saw it with Cinny and Birdie. When this happened, suddenly Birdie was able to get $10,000 from a GoFundMe because Cinny was the bad one, so Birdie had to be the poor victim one, you know? There's always one nice person and one bad person. Very black and white, so if Suzy was the victim here and the other person was the evil person, of course this was the evil person then. There couldn't have been a gray area when even the evil person was a Vic also a victim. No, that doesn't fit the agenda. No.
That Nekokota has victimized, and we can't decry them.
Yeah, but Birdie's agrees. Yes, but still, people were like, "No, Birdie, I can't believe Cindy did this. Here, have our money so you can move out from the groomer. You're in danger there." People felt sorry for Birdie when the situation with Cindy had happened. Because suddenly they forgot all about Birdie, because you know what, Cindy is a bad one at the time. We can't hate two people at once. No. These people need to learn to multitask their hatred.
We can't sit here and say that they need to be quiet about what Nekokota's done to them because, well, Nekokota's gone or whatever. It can still be talked about. What they did as a child maybe needs to be talked about in terms of like.
These audience like to preach justice but crave violence and harassment while choosing whichever person they feel more wronged by. The gray area does not exist. Yeah, that's something I noticed a whole lot. Like I just said, especially with the Cindy and Birdie situation. It's always like there's one bad person and one good person. Whenever the good person, in quotation marks, is against someone, no, they have to be the bad one.
Private discourse as opposed to public. Their public adult behavior does need to be discussed with the hopes that it will not continue. And considering that the one account she was even talking to me on, she nuked a while ago, I don't think she's coming back. The curse of Nekokota.
Like, this is also what they did with Akumu. He was a bad person, so no one ever gave a shit about what he had to say. And after 5 years, it turns out, oh shit, he was right all along. Crazy.
Was broken 2 years ago, as you guys call it, where she comes back.
Just put 2 tablespoons of sugar in my tea instead of 2 teaspoons. Listen, perfectly fine.
Every Christmas.
We'll be fine.
Gone. She's not coming back this time. Alright? So, let it breathe. I'm gonna mute now because I gotta fill poppers. So, what I would like to do now is, Suzy, I want you to go ahead and give your thoughts about the video.
Oh, Suzy has thoughts, it's crazy.
And what Nekokota has done. And I want you to detail why you feel the way you do.
Also, another great example. When the Lio and Peaches situation happened, and Peaches was like, Lio is abusing me. Even though it was, as soon as you looked into the situation, it was pretty clear that this was very much not the case. People believed it. Without question. It was like, just because even the people that hated Lio from the outside commentary community were like, this is bullshit. What the fuck is she talking about? It took those people to be like, ah, shit.
Alright.
It just... Again, Coda had hurt a lot of people. With, like, a lot of... maybe it was under the influence of V. Fine. But, like...
Fine. It sounds very understanding. Fine.
A lot of it didn't really involve V at the end of the day. A lot of it was just Coda doing what Coda has always done. Even as far back as the Fluffle thing, she would constantly try to, like, hammer on and like, keep coming back as this, like...
Would you rather have the ducky or the mosquito?
Annoying sea lion of a person who just...
That's just yet... Okay, now she's explained what her trouble is with Nekokota. She was like an annoying sea lion of a person.
Did not want to fucking, lose a conversation.
Who didn't want to lose a conversation. Is this your biggest problem with her? I expected a little more after her making a 9-hour video and arguing this hard. She's like, she was like an annoying sea lion who, didn't know how to lose a conversation.
And it just got worse as time went on. And yeah, that could be because of V. I understand that. But like, at some point, we have to
Is the accusation heard now that the person was annoying? I'm losing it.
that this is just a pattern of behavior that Coda herself did.
It's a pattern of behavior that she was fucking annoying, so anyway, I compared her to a fucking rapist? What? Guys, please tell me I misunderstand this. Please tell me I misunderstand this. Please. Please, someone enlighten me. What I misunderstand here, please.
Even going further than that, who's to say that she just never unlearned the behaviors, even going in?
The behaviors of being annoying? This is the accusation you're bringing here now? Please. Why is no one of you enlightening me? Please, someone is supposed to say, no, Dew, you're wrong. Please. God damn it.
To her adult years. At that point, do we still talk about what she did as an adult? Because now we're putting into question.
Yeah, so I looked into the wiki entry for Nico Coda. Apparently this person made 4 videos on doodles. I will see if I can find these videos. But otherwise it's just like, yeah, this person... Otherwise the only accusation I understand here is, yeah, she was annoying. And I would think if there was anything more that Doodles would have brought this one up instead of, you know, being annoying and not being able to lose the conversation.
What, like how much V influenced her? At that point, do we even talk about Coda at all?
I believe that you can
As
speak.
someone who...
Oh, sorry.
And as someone who was, like, constantly at odds with her, someone she...
Okay, now no, wait, she's explaining more what she went through with this person. Someone who was constantly at odds with her, okay.
Constantly butt heads with.
She constantly butt heads with, okay. I do not see still not see the reason for a 9-hour video.
Someone who played into all, like, as someone who she played into a lot of things that
she played into a lot of things, okay, great.
I now, you know, like, I don't know if I want to say traumatized, because it doesn't feel right.
She traumatized by being mean to me. And annoying. Again, please tell me if I'm wrong, please, I beg of you. Doodles got bullied by teenagers, yes. I still remember they asked the question later, yeah, how old were these people when they were mean to you? And it was like 16, and Doodles would have been in her mid-20s. And I'm like, you got bullied by a teenager?
Right, but like, the things that V did to me was also influenced with Coda.
What did they do to you? Please explain. Please explain, Doodles, because all I get right now is that they were mean to you. Please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me they at least tried to dox you or something, please. Oh. Please.
They both contributed to my harassment. They both contributed to
the harassment.
Me in ways that I have not even fully healed from.
I have not fully healed from when I was bullied by teenagers. Please tell me this ain't true. Say psych right now.
The reason most of my videos wound up being an hour at minimum wound up because of how V treated me. In regards to, like, forgetting to cover this or that. Coda also partook in that, though.
How old was Coda?
I don't think it...
Okay, how old was this person? Have you fully healed from being mean to you? No, I don't think so. I'm still traumatized. I need to talk to my therapist about that. Also, you're the same. You're not... Wait, you're not a teenager. I need a teenager. Fuck me.
She participated.
Okay, how old was this person when she participated in bullying you? I'm sure Doodles will give a reasonable answer that explained everything.
Yes, they were teen.
I stopped myself, abuser. I stopped myself.
Participated.
Yes, they were teen.
They were teen? What teen?
They were teenage. Both of them were teenagers.
I got fucking bullied by teenagers and I'm still traumatized. I can't. You know what? I'm ending it. I'm ending it all.
That doesn't change how much it hurts.
This teenager bullied me, so I made a 9-hour video talking about their grooming and rape and told this teenager, you know what? And said the person who was this teenager that bullied me, you know what? You know what? You're just like your rapist. Fuck me. Doodles, no.
I understand that. And you know, if this is
At what point do we acknowledge that they were kids? At what point do we acknowledge that V was also a teenager?
How old was V?
I can't.
I don't remember all.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, fuck me.
I know that they were around
I
the
hate
same
Doodles
age as
so
Joni
much.
when those two were
Hello,
having
newbie. Welcome to pain.
fun and chats.
What? When they were having fun in chats? Okay.
Okay, I can't
They were
really...
around the same age. Their age gap
Yeah,
was like
the literal 28-year-old is throwing a temper tantrum while the 19-year-old is there. How old were they? Bruh, I can't.
maybe 1 or 2.
Okay. But
V still clearly had.
Oh, look at that. I've been here for 30 minutes and YouTube just notified me that you're live too. Hey, better late than never.
You know, groomed Joni. At what point do we acknowledge that?
That V groomed Joni? Sorry, 1 second. I need to take care of something. Okay, I'm back.
I like to think that Shuli just went out of the room, screamed into a pillow, and then came back.
So I do want to say, there are behaviors exactly like Kyle is saying, there are behaviors that are understandable as a child that are not understandable as an adult. I understand that a child can do harm as a child to adults. It is something that needs to be handled differently because that child does.
Yeah, but it's not something you have to go public with and then be like, this child traumatized me.
Not really know what's going on. They have a very surface level grasping of the world and of their actions and of...
Also, again, that's also my big problem with the community. Why are they even interacting with teenagers? Always my problem. Why are we even talking about 2 teenagers? Like, come on.
The people around them. I don't mean to baby someone beyond belief, but just looking back on my own years, being young in this community, being treated very horribly, picking up behavior.
Oh, and Doodles is literally complaining to Julie about being bullied by teenagers, when Julie was bullied by adults as a teenager in this community. Bruh. The audacity.
That were self-defense mechanisms for me, and directing them at people who didn't necessarily need those behaviors to be directed at, like my aggression.
We need to build a wall between the teens and the adults in this community.
It needs to be handled with more tact and care than simply documenting it online for everyone to see.
So then we just don't talk about anything that ever happens in anyone.
Listen, most people I talk about are adults, in fact.
In anyone's teen years?
I don't.
Listen, I talked about Suzy's teen years, but that was because she made their own video where she lied as hell. But you don't need to make a 9-hour video about it being like, look at this stupid teenager. Look, they were groomed. Look, they were raped. And they were mean to me. I will never forgive this teenager.
I don't think that we need to be publicizing that information for the whole of YouTube to see.
Cool, then I guess I'm not doing that V video.
Oh, that is dirty. She is talking to a literal victim of V. And is now like, okay, we do it like this because I'm not doing this V video. This laugh. And you tell me this bitch ain't malicious? Wait, I need to play that back. This malicious little laugh here.
To see.
Cool, then I guess I'm not doing that V video.
While talking to a literal victim of V. I would have lost my shit.
You can do a V video.
Because
There's a lot to talk about a bit.
There was a lot
Yeah,
of grooming
I
that
love
happened.
the V video.
Hold on though.
Hold on.
Part of that was when they were a teenager. A lot of that same grooming behavior was as far back as when they were a teenager. So when do we talk about that?
Teenager is
Where's
right.
the
back.
line?
Oh my god. Before this
Susie's like, I want to talk about teenagers. Come on now.
goes into a horrible direction. And it
Imagine fighting this hard. Just to talk about teenagers. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, like, yeah, guess we're not ever talking about teenagers again.
gets heated and horrifically off rails. We also need to recognize, Suzy, you are talking to a victim of these.
Thanks, Lio.
Please.
I understand.
Lio is just, Doodles, please. Don't say anything stupid. Doodles, I beg of you. Please don't be retarded.
But I'm asking where the line is. Genuinely.
Yes, and you can ask it without screaming and without making sarcastic.
No. The almost 30-year-old has to scream and be sarcastic and whiny.
Comments about videos on B. We both know you can do that. Nobody here is taking that phone with you. Take a minute. Breathe.
Take a sip of wine.
Just calm down for just a minute. Alright? And we'll pick it back up.
Sorry for getting as emotional as I am.
I'm sorry, I'm getting now she's crying again. What the fuck? From talking to Julie and being like, hey, I guess I can't cover your groomer then. And then Lio speaks up and she's like, oh, sorry for getting emotional, Papa.
By the way. Just...
Little shit.
I don't mean to be shouting and stuff like that.
Then stop it. You're old enough to keep it together.
Just been an emotional wreck lately.
After just again saying to a victim of this person, be like, hey, guess I'm not making a video on them. Not every emotional wreck, you don't know.
I understand.
And of course, this was going.
Bruh, I don't know how Julie keeps it together. She better than me. Monster energy. I need more monster.
to strike a nerve, considering how much Coda had done to me.
I still want to know what, aside from being a mean teenager.
I never got an apology.
One moment the cat is meowing. Pumpkin. What? Just gonna stand in the door? Wanna come in or stay outside? You have to decide, Pumpkin. Pumpkin, please. Pumpkin's hardest decision in life. Will he come through the door or not? He came inside. He is now on the inside. He's in his chair now. He has his own little gamer chair. He got my old one because he scratched it up so much. He's very happy about it.
Either that's the fun part. I never got a genuine apology.
Boo-hoo! The teenager never gave me an apology. That's crazy. The person who was mean to me as a teenager never apologized. How will I recover?
I know.
I guess that doesn't matter either.
No, it's not that it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people
I guess it doesn't matter. God, I hate her. I hate her so much. You were allowed to use Pumpkin's chair. How very generous. I don't use it anymore. I have a new one.
I mean, I think a lot of people here know. People have treated me.
Get your cat a tiny cat. Yes. Oh no.
Monstrously. Who
Again, and she's complaining about that to Julie, who was treated horrendously by the adults in the community. And probably never also got an apology from one of these adults. This is when you can't be in the ACC for real? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
will never apologize. Not even Avi.
She would be going off. Okay, yeah, true. True. You know what? You're right.
Avi did not apologize for doing what he did to me. He apologized to Ellie, I believe. He doesn't care about what he did to me. V doesn't care about what he did to me. Fagos does not care what they did to me. Caden does not care what he
Again,
did.
so many people who haven't apologized to Julie, and you don't see Julie crying there.
Did to me.
Again, how is this 19-year-old keeping it more together than the fucking 28-year-old? I'm gonna explode.
Understand what it's like to be viciously hurt by someone when you could not defend yourself.
Yeah, and even if she got any apologies, they wouldn't be sincere anyway. Yep. Doodle's like, I'd rather have an insincere apology. But I still keep the video up.
In a way.
Also, I think after Doodles apparently apologized like 3 times for the video she made on this person, on Nekokoda, I would think they're quite quit. You know what? You were mean to me as a teenager. I told I have a 9-hour video on talking about your abuse.
That is very vulnerable and violating. And know that you will never be able to get the closure from the person who did that to you.
That video was my closure. That's the problem.
Then I...
The 9-hour video where I talk about the person's abuse was my closure. Her. That is a really bad closure, I gotta say.
I don't believe that we were looking for closure in a healthy...
And again, why is this fucking voice changer on a serious call like that?
way.
Well, it's because I knew I was never gonna get it from Coda.
Well, then live with it. Get over it. It's not that you don't see Julie crying because she has every right to, but how she is far more, and I hate to put this way, mature than Doodletones, her senior. Yeah. Yeah. Like, see? Like, Doodle's like, is acting like... It's really acting like a spoiled child here. Yeah, it's disgusting.
I knew I was never going to get an apology. Coda was never going to ever reflect on the thing.
Well, welcome to fucking life. You never get closure. Oftentimes, again, it sucks. It can really suck, I can admit that. But there will be many, many more times where you won't get the closure you want. Doodles would know that if she would go outside more.
Things that she did to me. I mean, what other way was there for me to get closure?
That's something
I don't know for me to get closure. Cry me a goddamn river. Get over it.
to discuss with the therapist.
Doodle is crying like she was fucking raped here.
Sometimes what you need to look more for, rather than closure, is for
It's for a way to move on. Live your happy life despite what the fuck happened, bruh.
acceptance.
Yeah, or if you really can't get over it, get a therapist who helps you with it.
Acceptance of the past rather than trying to resolve it in some way.
I don't understand where the line is drawn, though.
But then you're fucking retarded.
And that's something that can be more discussed in detail at another point. I don't think it's necessarily right now, especially with how you are feeling
Why not?
about this.
This conversation has started. We might as well actually have it.
Bro, you had an out, Doodles. You had an out. You had an out without looking more pathetic than you already are.
Okay. But I do want to say just that if we do go forward, I do not, I would prefer to not be yelled at or to...
Now now the younger person again has to be like, I would like you to not yell at me or have an attitude with me. Please keep this civilized conversation. Imagine having to be told that by someone who is 10 years younger than you. Bruh. I would die. You know what? I would be like, yeah, you know what? I'm out. I will delete everything. You don't see me again, bruh.
Not have an attitude thrown my way when I'm trying to be
I'm
very...
sorry, I didn't...
Just a common decency.
I didn't mean to be doing that to begin with. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to be doing that. I just don't have my emotions under control. I'm like a toddler. I cry when I feel like crying.
The line, I believe if it's private interpersonal things, especially when someone was a child, I do not believe that needs to be discussed at great length.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be dragged out in the public.
Please mute. I do not.
The mom reflex. Someone comes in and immediately, please mute. Hello, Smart. Welcome to Pain.
I believe that needs to be discussed in great detail at lengths publicly for everyone to see. That is a very vulnerable time in someone's life.
Please mute. The adults are talking.
That does not need to be documented by someone who
someone who has no idea what they're doing and can't even have a civilized conversation.
This is not professionally, like, it's not a biography. It's someone externally coming in and documenting, especially in a negative light, when there are a million things going on in someone's adolescence that inform their behavior and the adult that they become.
Yeah, I can hate someone, but I still don't feel like I have to go on and be like, yeah, you know what terrible things happened to them in their childhood? You know what? No wonder they turned out this way. Anyway, here we talk 5 hours about exactly how terrible their childhood was and how terrible they cope with it. That's fucking psychotic.
So should I also just private, like, the Sylveon videos too?
Yes.
Because he was 15 when I made those?
Yes. Hello, Sasha. And yes, why do you make a fucking video on a 15-year-old?
I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea.
Oh.
Womp fucking womp. Didn't expect that reply, huh?
Sure, whatever.
Sure, whatever. Didn't Julie just tell you to stop it with the attitude?
Please, I said please, no attitude.
Bruh. It's really like a teenager arguing. And the adult has to say, please, no attitude.
I'm not, I'm just...
I'm not! I'm just crying like a spoiled kid.
I'm not trying to put off Dude, I'm sorry if I am.
I understand. Just, I guess, be more cognizant of what you're saying.
Again, imagine having someone having to tell you that who's 10-year-old younger than you. Like I said, I would be so ashamed of myself if that ever happened.
Okay, so I'm going to give my thoughts on this after a lot
Oh wow, I wonder if Doodles will also have this much of an attitude again.
of looking into and hearing a lot of what people who have been in these spaces as children have done and seen and all that other stuff. If a child is causing trouble, harassing, stalking, whatever, unless they break certain boundaries, it's best to just shut them out. If you give word to your friends, letting them know, hey, this literal minor is being troublesome, that's fine. I don't think a video needs to be made on that.
You don't need to make a 9-hour video on that. Again, it was not all the video apparently that was on it, but the majority of the video. So I would imagine over half of it when she says it. So like 5 hours maybe, and you don't need to talk 5 hours about someone's childhood.
But if they breach something legal, or they become a genuine danger, that does need to be discussed publicly regardless of age, because kids can be just as unhinged as adults can be. We've seen that with people like Sylvia, all right? When it comes to bad behavior from childhood rolling into adulthood, I think that a note about the childhood issue is good, but I do not.
Oh, okay, guys, pick a pack of instant noodles for me. Shin ramyun chicken, mystery, or potato noodles. Shin ramyun chicken.
Think that it needs to be detailed band for band. I don't think that's necessary. I think you can give all the context you need without going into what they did every single year as a child.
Oh, did she really go over every single year? That's, again, psychotic.
I agree.
As far as people like V Omega go, I know that V harassed you. I know they were cruel. I know they were unrelenting. I get that, and there's definitely trauma there you can talk about.
Okay.
But V's behavior in being a vocal dickhead did not have anything to do with his predatory behavior. So, if talking about V, yes, make a note about how he behaved.
Chicken it is? Hell yeah. Love chicken.
When he was under 18, in terms of him being an absolute dickhead, make a note. You don't have to go into detail about it. Because frankly, again, the problem I've had in both FCC and ACC spaces, when it comes to talking about actual horrible actions, it always gets front loaded with the dumbest of things. I don't
Yeah, like, they were annoying.
need to know if somebody who tried to diddle a kid is an art thief. Like, I don't.
No,
Is
those have the same weight in this community. Listen. You know, the other one might have been a child groomer, but did you know that they traced art? And they even said the N-word.
Important, yes, especially considering it harms you, to point out that he's a dickhead, but the focus needs to be on the actual crimes he has committed and the people he did even worse things to. Yes, take a minute and talk about how he affected you. Absolutely. But
Oh no, the horrors of tracing. Yes. Bro, he said the N-word, traced art. Oh yeah, and also groomed like 4 kids, yeah. Yeah. Like, didn't we recently even read a fucking Google Doc where, hey, he groomed me? But then I learned he said the N-word, and that's where I knew I had to break it off. Like, bruh.
are detailing V's behavior, there are lines that are crossed, even if they're a kid. That's a bit different than what Neko Koda did, by a large margin, in my personal opinion. Does any of that make sense?
I'm sure Doodles will now have the same attitude as before, right?
Does it make sense, or are you just agreeing because you're worried you're going to get fussed at?
Damn, called out. Aeon knows what's going on.
I agree.
Okay. Again, nobody here.
And the person in Birdie Stock as well as like, I think they had CP, but we're not going into that. Like, bruh, yeah, exactly. That was also quite a whiplash. Like, oh yeah, then this person threw him out because they thought he had CP, and I was like, what? Excuse me? Are we not going into detail on that? Just casually mentioned there.
Here, nobody here hates you. Nobody here wants to dog you.
I want to.
Talking about it because it's a conversation that needs to happen, and frankly,
Lyle, why you're lying?
Well, talking about it via your video is kind of helpful in that sense. I do know it probably feels like people are invalidating what you went through, but that's not what people here are doing. Okay?
They should. Fucking cry, baby.
Gonna be okay.
Doodles needs a diaper change, I swear.
Now, personally, I don't see an issue if you were to take another swing in the future at a Nekokoda video, essentially a recall on
The mystery of fate consent. Isn't there someone you forgot to ask?
it. However,
that sounded like a clown horn. I know what, true.
right now, best to just not touch it and to let it.
Doodles, I got bullied by a teenager. The teenager grew up and then didn't apologize to me. What are the chances that Doodles was in diapers doing these calls? Not zero.
Sit. Okay? Now I'll be right back. You gotta call a customer.
Stop being in these calls at work.
I really hope this call hasn't just been quiet the entire time I was gone, because if I'm the main person talking in here, I'm actually gonna become unhinged. Like,
you are the main character.
No, I'm actually being serious here. There's nothing to laugh about. I shouldn't always be the person steering the conversation back to sensibility. I'm kind of tired of always having to be the one to do that.
It's more so, Lyle, that I just had the conversation. And I
Truly just, Lyle, honey. I already had it, okay?
Doggone it.
I don't feel like I need to...
Doggone it.
I don't feel like there's much else I need to say.
Well, you have to forgive me. I'm used to if I step away.
Lyle, I already had it, okay? There's nothing more I had to say, honey. I love Julie.
Everybody just shuts down until I come back.
No, it's okay. I started the conversation. I had it.
You know what? I had it already, Al, but you know what? You helped.
You helped with a few areas, but I think...
You know what? You helped a few times.
Mostly done. At least on my end.
Truly out here fucking on fire.
Yeah, I didn't really think of anything else to add either. That's why I didn't say anything. So I'm like, but I didn't want to like be too quick to talk about something else.
Yeah,
because I didn't.
I was waiting
because that's heavy shit, and you don't want to just like discard that as soon.
Yeah,
A for effort, Leo. It really sounded like it.
Immediately, especially if like there might be more somebody else has to say. So I'm like, okay, when people being quiet, okay, let me just. Now it's appropriate to lighten the mood.
I did see
when your cat brings you that snake. Good job, sweetie, you helped, but I got this. Thank you. It really sounded like this. I love it.
Bonnie, and I believe your name is Marwan Kirby Star. But I saw those two on mute, so I figured, okay, maybe they'll have something to say. I don't have anything to say. Sounded like Donnie was trying to say something, but didn't really muster the words.
Damn, your mic is still on.
I know it is.
Mr. Long?
I know it is. My audio's funky with that.
Oh, I know that feeling when your audio is funky. Had it in the beginning of the stream.
Essentially, I was trying to figure out the words, but then I somehow lost them as soon as I'm actually able to speak out loud.
Yeah, Leo got this position by being the only grown-up and being willing to have awkward conversation. Yeah, usually it was all just behind their backs. Leo was one of the pretty much only one who was like, okay, we're getting this ruled out now.
Alright.
Again, he made some mistakes along the way, we all know that, but I feel like, as you can see in this call, for example, or in the other calls, he chilled down a lot.
While you're trying to gather the words, Suzy did mention Sylveon. Do we want to touch on that or no?
We already did.
Oh, I need it.
Okay.
If everyone
I went and
is...
privated the videos on Sylveon too.
Okay. I don't know V's full history. I was pretty young when I was introduced to him, and it didn't take long for him to get his hands on me.
And again, this just like makes it worse that Suzy made the argument. Oh well, if I'm not allowed to talk about people in their teenage years, guess I won't make the video on V then. You know, the one who literally abused you.
So I don't know his full history. Most of my thoughts when it comes to him has to do with what he did to me when I was underage. I believe that V was 19 in 2018. He's probably from 1999 or 1998.
You know what I hate? How are the groomers all like over 10 years younger than me?
As when I
Just saying.
met V, at the very least, I can confirm he was at least 18. And I met him in, like, spring 2018.
Yeah, he was 19. In March. I actually have his birthday written down. He was born March 26, 1999. He's a little older than Avi.
Meaning he was 19.
He was, I believe, he might have been 18 when I met him. When he got his hands on me, he was 19.
And he joined the CC in, like, November 2017, so that means he would have joined.
No.
What?
It was a little bit earlier.
Oh.
I have Skype DMs between he and I. I date back to like
Why are you in Skype DMs with minors?
maybe very
Just asking.
late 2016. Yeah.
So V would have been 6 months.
Okay, it wasn't a minor at that time. Okay. Okay, sorry. I was just getting pissed at... I'm just genuinely pissed at fucking doodles. Had a brain fart there.
When he started.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know how old he exactly was. I just knew that he was young when he was doing all of the stuff to Joni. Not to say that makes it right, which is kind of what my point was, but
He
fair.
was an adult when he was doing that stuff.
I don't know, he must have been around 18 according to what Doodle said. I would guess when they had private DMs on Skype.
That's fair.
Yeah. If you want, I can send his birth date to you so that you don't forget it.
You know, because I know how bad you are at remembering things.
Okay. If you ever want it, just hit me up.
That call is why Suzy hid all but one of her videos. A severe...
Oh, so she was then pissy and hid all of her videos, except for the one where she was like, I'm leaving. What a piss baby.
Overreaction. However, the call on the 18th I'm about to play is where the downward spiral happens.
You tell me this wasn't the downward spiral?
Where Suzy is confronted about defending George, aka Horace. I don't think I need to go into heavy detail.
Oh, this one is what I'm really curious about. Like I said, I'm still seeing if I can find the video again. George, those who don't know, aka Horace, was a guy who was like, oh, I'm really in... My kink are magic tricks. Don't ask me how. Especially in the trick where the magician lets the woman disappear. And I draw a lot of Snow White, and I dress as Snow White, and I want children to put on Snow White dresses for me. But I'm not, it's not a kink, I swear. It's not a kink, I swear. I promise. And so Suzy made a video where that was about one victim named Leo. Where, again, this person sent him pictures of himself in the dress and was like, oh, do you have a Snow White dress you can put on? I was like, yeah, I have one for me, and I was like 9. Yeah, can you put it on for me? And was really insistent about that. And also drew this minor's character and a magic trick, as we know now, a kink of his. And Suzy was like, you know what? It's just harmless, you know, I don't think that, he already said, you know, the Snow White is not a kink. So it wasn't sexual, and also, the minor should have set boundaries better. I have a question for all of you. Imagine you have a child, if you don't have one, or a younger sibling. Let's say this person, let's say the dress really wasn't a kink. Even then, if you knew someone older would write your underage sibling or child, hey, will you put on the pretty dress for me? You wouldn't tell me that this is fucking degenerate? You tell me you wouldn't hunt this person down? Food for thought.
Detail, as the calls tend to speak for themselves, so please pay attention.
Okay.
All right, we're good for going.
Suzy, did you know that George, or Horace, whatever the fuck their name is, did you know that Horace had drawn a minor partaking in what they had explicitly stated turned them on?
Yeah, the magic trick. They draw the minor partaking in the magic trick, you know, making the minor partake in their kink. And also invited the minor to follow them on their not safe for work account.
I don't remember if that was in the doc or not, but it might have been. Probably.
Just so.
I repeat something I said in Beckett's chat too. I saw a story of Pedro asking a little girl to wear a dress and twirl while he took pictures, which seems innocent except the pictures. Yeah, and again, pedos also, yeah, pedophiles, it can be innocent. It can be an act that looks completely innocent. For them it isn't. They will still get off on it.
So we can make sure we have everything clear. Do we have a copy of Suzy's video that can be pulled up right now for reference?
Like, I could see if it was for competition. No, it's just for private, you know, because they really like the Snow White dress. No, not for anything like a competition, I think. No, just because they like the dress. Just for them privately, you know. I like this dress. Would you put on the dress for me, little girl? Little boy?
Reference.
Yeah, there's a couple of links to it in the thread.
Okay, somebody needs to pull it up so we can live stream and take a look at what this is instead of guessing and maybeing things, because that's going to piss off everybody.
All right, because that video goes over loud. Or
Yeah, Noodles better not forgotten that.
Doc. I haven't had time
Because
to.
the funny thing is, Doodles didn't really concentrate on this fact that the person drew them in what they admitted was their kink, this magic trick. But more on the whole dress thing, because you know what? The person said the dress isn't a kink. Even though this grown man sent a picture of himself in the... another example. If a grown man is talking to, again, your teenage child or sibling and just sends a picture of himself in a dress, in a Snow White dress, you wouldn't think that's, you know, inappropriate. Like, why the fuck is this grown adult sending a picture of himself in a dress?
To look at that video in full, I've been spending time with family, but this is kind of insanely upsetting to me, and I want
You really can hear how Julie has to keep it together on this one.
to know if that was in the original doc.
It
Somebody pull us up
probably
so they can screen share.
was.
It probably was.
Because I
Say,
know that
it
that
probably
Saf,
was.
because I know
Okay.
that Saf and mentioned that he did the same thing to Autumn when she was 16.
Can somebody please grab the video and start streaming it? I can't.
I am
Can
on-
somebody
I'm
please
on-
do that?
I am on my way. I'm on my
Thank
way,
you.
people. I'm working on it.
Do we have a copy of the doc that Suzy was working off of when she made this video?
I can probably find it.
I can probably find it.
Did you maybe link it in the description?
Oh gee, it's almost like a pattern of behavior for Doodles to be like, you know what, I saw nothing wrong with this predatory behavior. FCK, saw nothing wrong in there. You know what, this weirdo, saw nothing wrong there. You know what, the minor should have set boundaries.
I think I did.
Then you should be able to go to your video in the description and find it.
On my copy. It's
Alright, put it in the chat so somebody can look over it while we go through your video.
Yeah. That's why what I say when I think, oh my god, you're all overreacting.
Now, I don't know how much I'll be able to input because I'm working on stuff right now and it's like almost 10 o'clock at night, but I'll still be here, okay?
No, I remember this was a video that I did not want to mess up. I even ran it by Ponder.
Oh, I did not want to mess up and somehow I fucked it into the ground. And now being a panda, interesting. So from what I have heard, Suzy was asked in a second call, hey, are you saying that Panda gave you the go-ahead? And it seems like Suzy was lying there, because now it's again weaponizing Panda's name. Like, there was a comment of Panda's under the video. I don't know what to think about that. Doesn't look good. It was deleted recently. Doesn't look good. But again, some make the argument that apparently along many YouTubers, when a friend makes a video, you just comment without really looking at it. So it's kind of in the air. If Pandas really watched the video. But this is also something they constantly do, weaponizing Panda's name because they know Panda's name has weight.
All right,
So-
Julie, let us know when you're in so we can start.
So if I watch this up this badly,
Suzy,
then
Suzy, stop. Okay, let's. I want
Just stop stalling, let's just look at it.
to make something clear real quick. Preemptive stuff like that isn't helping. Just let's go through the data and see what actually has happened before you trip over yourself, okay? Lord.
It's literally again like, please stop being a retard. Please. I'm trying my hardest here.
It is in the doc, by the way.
But again, I would really like Ponders to make a statement on that. That's something I'm really curious about.
Pause.
I looked back over the doc. It does say that says then one day he just hit me up and told me he made a drawing without my knowledge or permission. He had drawn my OC Leo acting out the Del Coda chair trick. This image
Again, this is his favorite kink trick. So Doodles knew he drew the minor OC, the minor's OC, in his kink.
has been lost due to George removing his accounts, but I have screenshots of him admitting to it.
And
truly trying not to explode. What trick? It's a disappearing trick, you know, when... No, it's non-sexual, dude. Yeah, and somehow he still gets a boner about it. It's when the magician makes the woman disappear.
Okay. So...
You know what turns me on? When the woman fucking disappears.
Having watched the end of this video, the takeaway from hearing that a grown adult, mid-20s, drew a picture of a child partaking in an act that he specifically got sexual pleasure from, the takeaway was to say, well, he couldn't have known that was inappropriate because the child did not set the boundary.
And again, it's another argument you could just as easily turn against Doodles. Like, Doodles is against not talking about someone's history as a minor. Okay, Doodles can never be upset again that someone talks about their deviant art shit. And then Doodles was like, yeah, well, the minor didn't set boundaries. Well, Doodles, did you set boundaries against the person you said groomed you? No, just... I love turning someone's arguments against themselves. It's so delicious.
If you word it like that, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked it up. Oh, also because of the video, the fucking minor had to apologize to the grown man. Had to apologize to the adult. Or felt like they had to apologize to the adult because everyone was like, I can't believe you just accused him of such a thing.
Why the fuck was
Get her, Julie. Get her.
this person allowed to come back?
Oh yeah, and Doodles literally brought them back into the community 2 years after they were ousted. Isn't that great?
I made the case for them.
Because I made the case for them, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fucking bad. I'm fucking
Get her,
mad
Julie.
at you because guess what? Yeah, I never told V Omega that I was uncomfortable. And I never told Avi that I was uncomfortable either. And I never told Rachel that I was uncomfortable. All three of them knew that what they were doing to me was inappropriate. Now, yes, V Omega and Rachel talked about very sexually explicit things, but they all told me about things that sexually excited them, which George did as well. And also, I want to point out, because it was mentioned that it didn't look like grooming because the things that turned him on were
weren't sexual. No, it wasn't
casually.
sexual. It's fine.
That's a big thing that Avi did too. He
No, they
mentioned
just
things-
casually mentioned, you know what, I get really turned on by this magic trick. That's fine to do around minors, apparently, according to Doodles.
things casually, and he even made a joke out of his fucking kink because that is a way of desensitizing that kind of thing to a minor. If you make it more digestible, that makes it easier for you to push it on them, which George absolutely was doing by talking to a child extensively about things that he knew he was getting sexual pleasure from.
Isn't that crazy that Julie has to explain it to fucking Doodles? Because Doodle cannot wrap their fucking head around it. But also, you can also make the argument that Doodles had to defend it because diapers, you know, also aren't sexual on itself. Again, food for thought. So now saying, you know what, they said the princess dress isn't sexual. You know what? So it's not sexual. You're getting so good at quoting, I'm so proud. I give you less and less heart attacks.
And then drew that minor doing after 2 years, 2 years after when he did that to another minor. And I can't fucking believe that this is the person you guys and you...
Saul told me I have to say, I quote, or I disavow. Otherwise he gets heart attacks.
Specifically, Suzy
he will die young.
Wanted to make a case for to bring him back into a community that has children in it.
Yeah, like I said before, Doodle really likes to defend or hang out with predators, you know. Again, FCK didn't see anything wrong. Best example.
That's fair.
And here even make a video in the defense.
Are his victims still around?
I was one of the people he drew art of, and Saf is also here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
Leo is still like around, but he's not in this server.
You know, all these people are why I start to get my first grey hairs. I'm 21. Whip.
How did you two feel about this video when it came out?
I let Saf speak on that. I'll let Saf speak on that because I don't remember on my behalf.
Okay, am I hearable really quick before I say anything else?
Yes, you can be heard.
Okay, so when the video...
Oh, so now Doodles gets literally confronted with one of the victims from the dude she brought back in.
Came out, I remember very specifically, so I know I was a talking point in regards to the video, in regards to how the situation was handled, given mine and more specifically Vivian, Maiden Vivian / Channel Gray's involvement. And for context on that, it is worth noting I am another victim of Vivian in particular, and I was 19 around this time. And so the reason I had reached out to Leo and the reason this whole thing began is because I heard that Horace was doing all this, and
another goon totem, yes.
Particularly, Horace had drawn that same magic trick of me and Autumn back when we were 16 in a committed monogamous relationship.
Oh gee, drawing magic tricks of even more minors, isn't that crazy? You know what? It's really not a red flag when someone says, you know what I love? I love to draw minors in my magic tricks. Oh, by the way, I have a king for that magic trick. Go to sleep now. Good luck with this shit too. Thanks, Wayne. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.
Well, we were 16 and Horace was 20. And so I wanted to warn Leo, like, hey, this is not okay. You should tell him to stop. And so he did, and then everything derailed, and I will always admit that the situation was mishandled in the way that we acted online.
Are we doing a whole 5 hours in the video? We're not even 1 hour in, and we're streaming for 2 hours. Fuck me. And not today because I have work tomorrow, but this might become a 2-parter because there's still a few points I really want to go over there. So probably I still have 1 hour to go. I can stream, and then we will probably do the rest tomorrow. Love me a 2-parter. Hey X, welcome to Pain.
In the aftermath. But when the video was released, I did make a case in the comments. I don't know if the comments are archived, and if they are, I would like to know.
I am suffering, X. That's how it's going. I am suffering. I cannot believe this shit. Doodles is driving me insane.
Because I did make a case for myself, talking mainly about how I was being I was basically being spearheaded by Vivian in Vivian's vendetta against Horus, and that I was in my own case a victim of both Horus and Vivian.
No, there will not be 3 parts. I will be able to do it in 2. Have trust. Trust, Trusky. Trust.
And in response to that comment, all I got was a bunch of clown emojis and clowning comments in my direction from
wow, that's fuck.
From people like Avi and others within the community.
Of course, fucking Avi.
Because again, like, and it's worth noting for me. It's worth noting for me. Leo and I have always been close. We are especially close now, and I won't speak entirely for him. That's not my place. It's not my place at all, but he is still, to this day, extremely traumatized by this. It did chase him off the internet for a long time. He was only in private spaces. He did not...
Yeah, imagine you get fucking groomed, then 2 years later, someone makes a fucking video. It's like, you know what? This child should have set better boundaries. It totally wasn't sexual. And then made to be apologized to the fucking guy.
Not go on Twitter, not on YouTube, not on anything, any public forum where he could be found, particularly by people within the SCC.
And Leo is
and
the alleged rumor,
yeah, Leo is the it was the one who had come out about who came with the document in 2018 about, or 2019 about Horus.
Okay, it's Horus is the abuser. Okay, well,
yes.
Yeah, Horus/George is the name of the person.
Okay. Thank you. Is George still around?
Yes.
What? How is this guy still around? I fucking hate it here. I need another can. Caffeine has to take me through this.
They just joined the courthouse just now because of an anxiety flare-up.
Ah, love that. Love a public execution. Don't you, Julie? I love you.
He's so jelly. Love a public execution. Because, dude, he was Doodle's friend. Of course he fucking was. Oh, fuck. Doodles really likes to be friends with predators.
Well, we kicked him out for the time being, but we can bring him back in.
Kick them back in.
I don't know when, because I'm honestly still processing all of this.
Lio, please take that off the screen. I need to concentrate.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Wait, before... Just because, like, I don't want this to head in this direction like it did with Caden. If you are going to talk to Horus, don't do it here because there are children in the server.
Yes.
Suzy.
Again, why do you people have children in the server? That's why I'm looking at everyone sideways. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
And Suzy was like, oh shit, I thought I was off the hook now.
Did you talk to Leo or Saf?
By that point, neither really wanted anything to do with me.
Oh gee, I wonder why. Fuck. Why wouldn't they want to talk to you?
I think I was blocked from both of them.
Oh gee, I wonder why, Suzy. And I also bet you didn't know anyone who, you know, knew them. Somehow you people always reach everyone, but in this case, oh shit, they blocked me, oh well. Another day.
Memory's a bit hazy on that, though.
I can confirm, the reason that Leo and I had you blocked at the time is because when Vivian had posted the document about George and all the inside aftermath of everyone acting the way they did, you did make some tweets bringing the allegations into question.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why they blocked you. Oh, gee.
Yeah. And then
Fucking
I
brainlet.
got promptly skewered for it at the time.
Yes.
I remember
Oh, I
that.
got promptly screwed for that at the time. I'm so traumatized from it.
Not promptly enough, in my opinion, because...
Yeah.
What the fuck was that video?
And it
If you
was
didn't-
something I
swear, I see the weirdest kink around this community. Yeah, there was the other guy who was into sneezing. Then you have fucking magic tricks. What's the next?
What in the world made you decide to defend this behavior? That's just bizarre.
I genuinely didn't see it. as right.
Don't. I hate you. I hate you so much, Doodles. Get hit by an electric fly trap.
I mean, I
What did you
understand
think
that
grooming? What do you think grooming was at the time?
Think very carefully now, Doodles. You better think really, really careful. Oh, not the maggots, goddammit. Why did you have to remind me, X? Why did you have to remind me?
Well, as Ephraim said, I thought it was more like a targeted and more directly, like
Okay.
explicitly try.
If you are specifically drawing,
We do not talk about the maggots. Bad. No, Claudia, you don't want to know. My dear beloved wife, you do not need and you do not want to know. Please, Claudia, no, don't do it.
people individually in the fetish content that you consume, and those people are children, that doesn't read as targeted to you.
No drama, bad.
Didn't at the time.
Okay.
If you haven't, if you haven't yet, Julie, I'm going to ask you to check DMs real quick.
So she really brought the jar argument. Oh, I thought it was more directed, you know?
Okay.
I guess my only question.
Yeah, we do.
Suzy-
We do need to do that. Did you look at your comments?
Hmm?
Since the video, yeah. I did.
Yeah?
Did you see Saf getting dogged on?
Maybe at one point.
You cannot say this, that you didn't see the victim getting dogpiled on. You cannot be like, maybe? At this point, just deny it. Just lie. You lie all the time. Come on now.
Okay, I'm so done. You released a video, essentially covering for targeted sexual behavior at children, and then allowed one of the victims of that behavior to be publicly lambasted in your comment section. I am so angry with you right now.
And
get her, Julie. Get her.
I wanted
I'm sorry.
part of at the time I genuinely I didn't want to be mad at Suzy. It's still hard for me to be. I know
You should be.
At the time when this video came out, I was still around Rachel. I was still in that situation. I can understand, yeah, people didn't want to hear from me. But at the same time, they knew it was common knowledge at this point that I had experienced that behavior from George, but also this was post me coming out about Vivian the first time, because remember, I've come out about her twice.
Yeah, we both did. We both came out about Vivian at that same time. We came out about Vivian in 2020.
Yeah, and then I came out again in December of 2022.
Isn't that kind of sad? I know the grooming victim even had to be like, oh, you know, we weren't really mad at Suzy at the time. I still have a hard time being mad about it. You know, trying to kind of get the anger off of Julie from Doodles.
Mm-hmm.
One time for a while when I walk home and was to listen to though. Thanks, X! Have a good walk home.
So, we have someone... Okay, this is just another example of the community treating victims like they're not fucking people.
Yep.
Because someone came out about being drawn sexually. It doesn't matter if it's sexually in the generic sense. It was drawn in a way that got the fucking person who drew it off.
Yeah, and Suzy knew it. Suzy knew that he was into magic tricks. It was not even like, oh, she didn't know, you know.
And that person was dogged on, despite having also come forward about the other person and saying that they were spearheaded by the other person who victimized them. And we as in the community at the time, because I never actually watched this stuff happen. I just heard of it, of course, by Avi, who said that it wasn't bad because he was doing the same thing.
Of course, Avi. God, I hate... always when the name comes up, I'm just like, ugh.
To me.
Oh, this is that guy.
Yes. This is the situation that Avi used to say, this can't be bad because it's what I'm doing to you.
Fucking Christ.
I do want to have this known, real quick. I mentioned this in courthouse earlier, but I mentioned that I denounced calling George a groomer, and I apologized for him.
Imagine making the fucking victim saying, you know what, maybe he wasn't a groomer, and I apologize to him. Hey, Nintendo Mail, welcome to Pain.
For saying that, but I'm realizing now this... because I did speak a little bit with staff before I joined this call. I'm definitely thinking this is definitely an overcorrection on my end, because this, I think
Isn't that fucking sad that the victim felt like at the time, hey, you know what? I take it back, and you know what? He isn't a groomer, and I apologize. This is so fucking sad. Now they're like, you know what? I think I panicked there.
It's just that the habit I've grown to have when I rejoined the community. I know that I wronged people. I tried to right those wrongs.
Yes, but also you were a victim in this situation.
But I didn't recognize that I was still hurt.
Same.
I'm sorry, guys.
This has happened to
Julie tries so hard right now to not explode.
Many times.
Suzy, I'm going to ask you right now to be quiet.
Suzy, shut the fuck up. Hi, Gerald.
Alright.
Because I'm not exactly happy right now either. The best thing you can do right now is...
I'm not exactly happy right now, so don't make me explode. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. All the YouTube shit. All the good stuff. To make it through the pain.
Quiet, let's discuss this.
How did Doodles get away with it? Because in this community, too many of them did that, especially with all of these fucking retards in the Cloud Palace.
You screwed up. We know what you've done. A billion apologies aren't going to change it. Please be quiet right now.
Okay.
This
okay. Fucking bitch.
Happened too many times where victims are treated like shit, made to feel guilty for the things that the people who have abused them have gone through, felt the need to overcorrect and in fact dismiss their previous claims or dismiss claims made about sexual fucking degeneracy, to put it in the way I fucking want to right now.
I get it.
Julie wants to say slurs.
Because this exact thing happened to me. I came out and everyone immediately looked at, oh, Chuli's doing, but Chuli was doing this. Chuli, despite being a 16-year-old, Chuli did this and this and this to Fagos. So actually I think Fagos is the victim here. And then tried to push that narrative against me publicly. And this is so fucking sinister. Why is every victim that comes forward in this God-forsaken community made to feel like they are the problem?
Yeah, and again, it's really pure audacity of Doodles to talk like this. Especially with the comment of, oh, I guess I'm not making this video on your abuser then. And they made the argument like, bruh, Julie has been through it all. And fucking Doodles dares to cry and whine there.
Because this community has had a bad habit of taking negative emotions and saying, well, we don't want that, so you're bad for saying
we want positivity here.
Things about things that make us uncomfortable.
And
I simply cannot accept the thing of, I didn't think this was targeted behavior. I cannot accept that, because if I did, I would be accepting irresponsible actions to a pretty, I would consider, unforgivable degree.
What was the victim wearing though? Unironically, this is probably something Doodles will say.
And I'm even more infuriated. I'm so sorry, Saf, that I keep talking.
No, you're okay.
Okay, you keep talking. You keep ripping her apart.
And more infuriated that to this day, victims, children who had kink art drawn of them, to this day have been made to feel like
they were the fucking problem.
They shouldn't be mad about that. I'm furious.
Yeah, it's also a prime example of actual toxic positivity. Yes. It really much is. Like, if you remember from the stream where we went over Julie's video, or if you saw Julie's video on itself, when people were like, yeah, Julie sucks because, you know what, Fagos might have done all these things to Julie. But you know what, Julie was really mean when Fagos left. How dare she? How dare she be? Thank fucking God this retard is gone. Okay, she didn't say retard. But you know what I mean.
I am, because I've sat on this, and I've known of this situation, like I said, for years, and everyone always told me, oh, George got done wrong, George got done dirty, it wasn't like how it was painted. And now I'm hearing that it is exactly how it was painted, and the people who dealt with it were made to essentially apologize on behalf of other victims' actions. I am angry to a degree I cannot begin to describe right now.
Yeah. No, Julie doesn't have a dirty mouth like me. Julie would not say that.
And what really bothers me here,
she will tell them to jump though,
is it was a screw up by honestly anybody other than Suzy. Maybe an argument can be Suzy. You spent time in fetish groups because you were fascinated by the concept. How did you not know better?
Fascinated by the concept, of course. Totally not into it herself.
Admittedly, George's kink is quite weird, and I didn't...
You know what? The kink was weird, so I didn't think of it as sexual. Julie was such a meanie head. She never considered how her abusers felt. Yeah, that's literally the argument people made.
I think it was very... because it's not... like, if he didn't call it a kink, it would be entirely harmless. And as I've talked to you,
Wait, my brain just broke. What did she say?
a kink, it would
Like, if he didn't call it a kink,
entirely harmless.
it would be entirely harmless. Once again, if a man like George here would say it's not a kink. Anyway, child, here's a picture of me in a dress. Will you put on a pretty dress for me? Look, child, I draw a picture of you partaking in this one thing that gives me a boner.
And as I've talked to you about in the past, Lio, I have
Mario, don't you know how I talked to you in the past? Don't you know when we were Pauls?
very weird perspective on fetishes. On
Yeah,
fetishes
gee, I wonder why you have a weird perspective on fetishes, you degenerate.
and kinks in general. I don't think they necessarily have to be sexual.
I need you to find a time machine. Go back in time. Find a psychiatric hospital where they still do lobotomies. That's one done. There can't be anything broken. It can only get better, Doodles. It can only get better. I think it will help you greatly.
We've
Listen,
had
I
this
get.
conversation
Oh, go ahead.
before.
We have, but he's made it pretty clear it was. Based on just a little bit I know. Hold on, I gotta listen to something.
I was gonna say, Suzy, as much as it is, like, yeah, it's by all accounts not a typical.
Gonna pause my work and bring up Doodles blurs the line between fetish, kink, and hyperfixation. Yes, because Doodles also made the argument that diapers were just her hyperfixation. And somehow people believed it. Like, again, I take my win here.
Kink. Take out all of the type of discussion he had, and you could apply that exact same sentiment to Avi. Because by all accounts, that's not a quote-unquote typical kink. It's just the way, it's how you go about it that matters.
I didn't know what we know about me now.
Well, I didn't know what we know now, then maybe don't talk about these topics. Again, Doodles prided herself in having been a predator hunter. Bruh.
Well, yeah, I know that. What I'm saying is, like, when you connect the dots of these two situations, it becomes...
Honestly, I rather like people who are at least honest and be like, you know what, I don't really care about the victims. Than people who are like, I'm such a victim advocate and pull shit like this.
Clear, it was a lot of just... It just becomes clear a lot was wrong.
Stop crying.
I understand that now.
Oh no! Oh, at the ripe age of 28, Doodles finally understands. Ain't that great?
Mm-hmm. I guess my only question I really have, Suzy.
Listen, soon she'll be over 30 and she will learn empathy.
And I'm not saying this to be mad. I can't really find it in me to be mad at you.
Majanga, you don't know how angry I am that this community changed their approach right at the time as all these fucking degenerates are getting exposed and called out. Bruh. They should have had these angry, screaming, insulting calls with people like Doodles, with Nazi Monster, Heaton. God, I hope there will be a Heaton call. I'm praying that there will be a Heaton call.
As far as we know, there are 3 people in particular that Horace had done this art with. And all 3 of them at the time of the art being done were 16. It was me, Autumn, and Leo.
I want off the right. I can understand that, Lio. I understand that. Oh. How does she make arguments like that, Lio? Please, please explain. How does she say things like, yeah, I know this now? Listen, it's been a year since this person was raped. I thought they would be over it by now. Lio, what is this?
Was there not a correlation there?
Jeez, listen, maybe it might have been his kink, but listen, it's a weird kink. It's not sexual.
On my mind.
Oh yeah, we saw that when you told her to shut up.
No, but when you lay it out like that, yeah, I see it now.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, at the young age of 28, she sees now the error of her ways. That's great.
I don't think I can talk to you right now, Suzy. I'm so unbelievably angry with you.
I actually totally leave that on, yeah. Understandable. Did you know that Doodles admitted to being in the FCK server enough to see the drama happening in it and admitted that in a hidden video in 2020? That's great. Like I said again, you cannot tell me that Suzy didn't see anything weird going on there.
And I'm angry at every other adult that saw that.
That's fair. But Julie's about to rip you apart and you sitting there. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And thought it was okay. And I'm angry that no one until now.
I'm pushing through it, but I'm just trying to imagine from the perspective of Suzy. Why would you put on your silly voice changer for a serious conversation like that, you know? It feels kind of disrespectful to me. Not gonna lie.
Decided
you know what? I have this very serious call now. Let me put on my voice changer.
Look back at it again. And it makes me feel fucking sick that this guy...
It's automatically on. Got it.
Drew fan art for me just a couple days ago. Knowing that Avi used what he did to Leo and to Autumn and to Saf to justify what he was doing to me.
Sorry.
Alright. I'm still not over her comment to Julie, like, well, I guess I don't make the video then. Like, the disrespect.
Can I'm looking at what Hidden's asking in chat.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
How...
I said that Hidden could speak. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's kind of a signature thing in front of you to have a billion people asking who Dr. was or saying, who is this? You know what? That's a fair point. True. I don't think many people know her real voice, so yeah. People would probably not even recognize her.
Hidden,
Hi. If I may.
No.
Because I'm
Hold
more...
on. Let Hidden speak first. They've been waiting.
Because there's a few things we need to address, because I asked a few questions that I think are important for clarification, because one, apparently Horace has been in the sphere here from 2010 to 2019, and then there was a break until 2021, and
yeah, until Suzy made her video.
They've been here to the present day, and that means he was allowed to come back after this situation happened, and everyone who knew this person just accepted that they were here now. And now I have to ask, how many of you...
Yeah, that's also crazy. How many people must have known about this and watched the Doodles video and were like, you know what, yeah, that looks fine. Like, it's not even that just Doodles is the dumbass here, but also the people that went along with it. And actually try to dogpile the victims, who then felt forced to apologize.
Who are currently here, knew what happened, and decided it was a non-issue. Because I will not let you sit here and get out with this performative anger at what Suzy did when some of y'all had this person in your community and did nothing. So I need to know how many of you knew actually what happened, what he was accused of, and
How many people will put their hands up?
decided it was a non-issue.
Okay, hold on. I want to ask, because backing off of what Hidden said, how many of y'all didn't ever read either Leo's doc or Horace's doc, and yet...
Oh, just letting everyone know, Linlin put a video on her experience with Doodletones, and oh boy, makes it clear Doodletones needs to stay gone. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out later. Can't really say anything on that because I haven't checked that out yet.
Just watched Suzy's video and took everything at face value.
German, yes.
Who?
Oh, Hidden is also German? Oh. God damn it. No, that's my thing. There can't be no other Germans. These nuts.
Just... Because... Again, like, between Leo's story basically being thrown to the side, and then also mine and Autumn's, and, like, me and Autumn were basically made to, like, be like, okay, well, what happened wasn't all as bad as we thought.
That also must have felt fucking horrible. Like, this all happened to you, you're still trying to cope with it all, you think it's finally over, and then 2 years later, you know what, it actually wasn't that bad. You know what, these kids should have set boundaries. Fucking hell.
Were there people who just knew about what happened but didn't ever actually look into it and just said, okay, George being here is okay?
Yes,
Listen, he's just the silly Snow White dress guy with magic tricks, teehee. Fuck tots.
That was my next point, where it was like, this video came out in 2021. So it's been a hot minute. So now I have to ask how many of you saw this video and decided not to look into the allegations and just take Suzy at face value. So
Stardust
we
is
don't...
one of them.
Fantastic. So we don't get into like the explanation where you guys all try to excuse yourselves. If you knew, I need you to put that in the chat. Just say I knew and I ignored it. I don't want excuses. I don't want
Hands up, fuckers.
I just want I knew, or you don't say anything, because
I'm sure there was a very small amount who admitted to it.
That's kind of important.
Okay, we have a few people.
Oh, actually a few people
watched the video but did not look into it. From the sounds of it, the people who watched the video but did not look further into things was Donnie, Sarah Dust, Zenny, and Mr. A.
Donnie also mentioned in chat earlier that he was also spoken to sexually.
Oh, god damn it.
For George when he was in
That's
Iron.
actually what I was gonna try and speak on, just because I
Oh
asked. It's okay to
my god!
Knowing this info, I don't ever want to see a magic show anymore. Oh shit. Donnie's on my list. Yes, good.
I'm not angry at you, Donnie. Sorry, that anger was not directed at you.
Okay, so from what I can see in the side chat, most people seem to have seen the video, but then didn't look into the situation. Why? Like, oh my fucking god, why?
Now every time you see a magic trick, you think of this one degenerate. Can't have shit around here.
Y'all saw a video where somebody was accused of, you know, grooming shit, with screenshots, mind you, that your eyes could have read. Like, I'm just putting that out there. Your eyes could have read the
People don't read. They put a movie on a video on in the background and just listen to it and think, that makes sense. He's a soft uwu boy that I absolutely saw acting like a mean girl in Cloud Palace. The moment he trips up, I'm going to turn the stereotypical 80s bully Celia. Listen, when people think no one's looking, they all suddenly turn into the mean girl table. It do be like that. They think they're safe. Oh my god, have you heard? Oh, bitch, she kills herself. When someone looks, what?
That's on screen. And you decided, instead of using my brain, I'm just gonna believe Suzy and be like, oh yeah, sure, this is... Oh, fantastic, please do.
I can tell you why. It's the same problem they've been having for years now. And it's part of an overarching argument or overarching issue. They always put the heaviest things on a person and go literally what they do. They did it to Suzy, they've done it to Ponder, and then they did it to me. This is what they do.
Yes.
Because it's an unpleasant thing to deal with. So they wait till the biggest voice in the room talks about it and just literally go with that instead of looking into it. And look, to a point, part of that I could understand if we were talking about, oh, I don't know, I'll keep using the same example I always do, freaking Pokemon. If somebody has a take on Pokemon, you just
Oh no, not the Pokemon Wars. No, don't mention the Pokemon Wars, you will cause a new one.
listen to them because, well, they're the big voice and I don't really care. That's one thing. This is pretty egregious, guys. And
yeah, those people listen to grooming accusations and people talking about, you know what, this grooming wasn't as serious as much as like Pokemon lore.
I'm on my medication and I'm still pretty doggone pissed. I'm just not showing it as much as Julie is.
Also, I think what
not even the chill pill helped.
Is
good.
It's something I talked to Chuli about before. Does it only matter if the victim of a situation is a quote unquote perfect victim? Because do you guys just not care otherwise? Because unrelated, where were a lot of people when I was being dogged on for the comment I made in Susie's video? Where were a lot of the people that were congratulating Horace into getting back into the community?
Hey, welcome back, Magic Man. Here I have a few children to talk to. It's totally fine. It's just a magic trick.
Where were they when I came out about Vivian? Was it because I wasn't a perfect victim?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I was around Rachel. I'm not a perfect victim. I know this. A perfect victim doesn't exist, guys.
I'm asking.
Give you the right to ignore
It's actually making me furious. Yeah, I can imagine. I guess you found out why you weren't invited in there. Like the question was asked earlier, if you would have been invited, like back in the early years, like let's say 2002, if you would have said something, and I'm pretty sure you would have. You would have not accepted this behavior. God damn it.
Dog on y'all.
Every time they say Horus, I think of Horus Hearsay.
Because Cal just asked. I remember vaguely hearing this last year when Lyle passed me the call. In the call where Liv was confronted, which one of you stepped up to defend Horace? Which of you did that? If you're in this call, you better fucking unmute and say that that was you.
Don't know if that person is in here right now.
I'm not sure.
Some people in chat shot their pants when they heard that.
Fine, I'm gonna go
I bet.
on PC, and I'm going to look up the name Horace in that call, and if that person is in this call, I'm going to become unglued.
Oh.
So if you are the person in that call who is just having the rattly knees right now, I better find it that you find some strength here.
This is a lot for me to process. Oh
also,
yeah, that was not on Matt's Lio. It would have gone nuclear.
I might have been a part of that.
You were also talked to sexually at the time, Donnie.
You were victimized by
you were victimized.
Horace. You're not included in this.
But I still apologize to him.
Imagine none of the fucking people who spoke up to them say anything, but the fucking victim is like, yeah, sorry, I apologize to him. That's so fucking that's so fucked up, man. Damn.
I also apologize.
You were manipulated.
Donnie.
You guys were fucking gaslit by this stupid ass community into apologizing to someone who was inappropriate with you as a child, and I'm gonna get emotional because I fucking hate that this happens so many times. And you know what, Suzy, you're already gone off of line. It needs to stay that way.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
I understand.
I want to answer Hayden's question.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say more specifically congratulate. It's the fact that when
some of y'all were adults, some of y'all as adults watched that video and said, well, I can see this person being sexual with a minor, admittedly so, but Suzy said it's not grooming, so we should let them back in.
Yeah, and again, even if you were to make this argument, you know, it's not sexual. Use your fucking brain cells. I will make this example again. If a grown adult asks a child, hey, you have a picture of me in a dress, will you put on a pretty dress for me, child? Here, I drew you doing a magic trick. By the way, this magic trick really turns me on. Yeah, not great, right? Fucking hell.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like disrespectfully, frankly, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And the biggest thing about that is something I've always had an issue with, even after, you know,
Welcome back to Pain X.
Apologize to Horace, is when this all happened, who here actually thought to think about how Leo felt about everything? We all just slapped these labels onto Leo of, oh, he was actually being groomed by Vivian, without confirming it with him, and then just rolling along with it without even considering how he feels about his situation being brought back to light. Without his knowledge, he didn't know about any of this until Suzy made her video. Leo was basically, like, he ran off of Twitter because he was so afraid of having to...
I'm seeing a Russell and Beckett server, someone made Mpreg. It's always Mpreg.
Go through all of this again.
One moment. Sorry. Julie, I need you to check the ends.
Okay.
That's just my only question, is who here genuinely thought about Leo?
No one.
Okay,
Probably almost no one. Because, again, my favorite YouTuber says he was not a victim.
Lio, is that the only person that listening to the call you can hear is defending?
That's the one person who asked if Jomer still believed that this individual was the groomer.
Oh,
okay.
You're talking about me.
Alright.
I assume you're talking about me.
The rest of the
No, he's overvoting.
Be the only person. Yes.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
And that's why I said DMs, because I'm not about to yell at you for it. So.
I appreciate
no,
that.
we're not.
Thank
I'm not mad at you for that in the slightest.
I
Tomorrow, I'm going to
Again, the literal victim is taking more accountability than people who just went along with it. Also, I think I have to end it here for today. It's now midnight. I have to go to work tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow we will do part 2. There's just one I really want to show, because that one sent me the fuck off. Let me put out the transcript. No, as a goodbye. I want you all to see what really sent me off. There. Up. You know, I want to show you. First I want to show you, before I end it, I want to show you Doodle's take on rape.
First names that pop into mind.
Alright, if it does matter to you, then why did you not think that Donnie being sexually assaulted was gonna have him fucked up for a while?
I don't. I thought my timeline of events might be a little screwy right now. I thought the rape was like a year or two before the George Rickman video.
You know, the rape was 1 or 2 years ago, you know, I thought they were over it by now. Get over it, you know, just, gee, it's been a year or 2. Again, my argument, I think Doodles is so fucking terminally online. They think that I assume this is actual rape, someone correct me if I'm wrong here, is just as bad as like a sexual drawing of you or being groomed on the internet. Which is also fucks you up longer for a year. If it's actual rape we're talking about here, that fucks you up for life. And Doodles is out here being like, yeah, guys, it's been a year or 2, like, jeez. And of course, I know you all love the... You know what, we ended on a funny note rather than this. Where's the... I can't type. Extortion. Oh, there's a time.
There's nothing I can say that will convince you that this is fucking extortion!
Loves the screaming. So, anyway, with that, we will end it for tonight. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Like I said, we will continue tomorrow. This is a ride that gives me a headache. Thanks for Lyot for stopping by. And with everyone else, of course. Have a good night, you all. I am tired of this chipmunk scream. Yes. Wait, let me just play the music. And have a good night, you all. Bye-bye.